Hi, who is the boss? The producer or the director? This is a very interesting class. It's short and you're gonna to understand that. This is gonna be very clear in your mind. First, let's understand what's the director and what's the producer. A director works with communication and art, and a producer makes the project possible. Both are quite important, but who is in the charge? And the answer of this question is depends. I know you want a specific answer, but I'm gonna give you here with examples. Take a look. The boss is usually who is most connected with money and access. Maybe you are watching this class and you say, this is true. So, do you know in a company, for example, those positions which are more connected to money, they have more prestige and they even have better salary. The same thing happens when we have the producer and when we have the director. I can give you an example. When I was in ABC, I was an intern in 2004, and I may say you that in that position, I was working in news, in local news, and I'm gonna tell you here right now who were the boss in that situation in local news, the producer or the director. It was the director, and I let you know why. And so we are going to have examples with the director as a boss. I remember in the morning there was the news meeting. And in the news meeting, there were the anchors, the reporters, me, the intern, and we have the director. And she was the boss. Why? Because in this news meeting, they were deciding which news would be on the prime time, which one would be during the afternoon. And I remember they said, oh, maybe we make a story about credit card. And she said, no. Maybe next week. So she has the final question. She has the final word. She was in charge. And because in news, when we have someone say, this is gonna be, this is not gonna be, this is the person who cares about the audience. Because imagine, if the show is not going fine, if we don't have audience and we lose sponsorship, so it's bad. So this position is very important because it deals directly with money, because if we don't have audience, we don't have money because we don't have sponsorship. So it's a lot of responsibility. We say, this is not going to be in the news today, maybe the next week, or it's not going to be in our station. We are not going to make a story about it at all. So she was the boss, okay? And here in Brazil, we have an example, William Bonner. We call here editor-chefe. He's an anchor, but he's also a director because he says, this is gonna be in the show, this is not gonna to be in the show, okay? So this is an example here. I have another picture of a news in Brazil. It's another channel, it's Jornal da Record. And behind them, there's the newsroom. And here I'm gonna tell you about the producer of a news. When we have a producer in news, he is writing the rundown. And what he's doing, he's planning, oh, we are going to have the opening, and so we have the story 1, the story 2, so we have the break, and he plans each attraction is gonna be. So he constructed, and it's type of position that he's creating things. He's with the hands-on, and the part of the money, the audience, he's not concerning about it. He's making it possible, but it's about hands-on and constructing and not strategic. And when we have strategic, we are more connected to money, and so we have people in the charge, right? And here I have another picture, very important to clarify your mind. And here we have a director, but it's another type of director. The director usually sits in this chair, and it's a technical leadership, because we had the news meeting, we worked a lot in the newsroom, and when everything is ready and we are going to be on air, the director is here, and he knows that the story one starts in the camera one, and so we have a package, and so we have some report and say something important, so we are back to the studio. So he's going to lead all that time with the many buttons. So he is directing, he is working with communication and art, but he's not dealing with money, with audience. Okay, so it's a technical leadership. In this situation, this director is a technical leadership. So you say in this class right now, when it's a technical position, doesn't matter if it's a producer who is making it possible, or if it's a director and who is dealing with communication and art, they're not the boss. His technique and position is not who is leading with money, so it's not who is in the charge, right? And here, let's think about the producer as a boss. Okay? I have just showed you in a TV show, a director as a boss. Now I'm going to show you a producer as a boss. And this example is the Walt Disney, when he made Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Walt Disney is an artist, but he's a producer. He makes it possible. And in this situation, we are not talking about a TV show. We are talking about movies. In this situation, he's the boss. Snow White was the first feature-length animation in the world, and it was a quite risky, and he put his own money and to make it possible. And so he was the boss. He was dealing with the movie as a product, and it was a successful. But in this case, he was the producer and he was the boss. This is a trend. In the television, the director is usually the boss. In movies production, the producer is usually the boss. It's clear in our mind, and may you ask me why? Because in television, people are employees there. So we have a TV station, so we have the salaries, everything. We have a ready structure, and we have a daily routine. News are every day, so it's a ready structure. But a movie is something unique, and we don't have most of the time the structure of television. So it's not daily either. So we need a producer. Someone who's gonna make it possible is the boss, because we don't have this structure already, okay? Is that clear for you? And I invite you to my course, From Script to Video, how to transform a story into a movie. And you're gonna to understand the whole process of constructing a movie. Let's start being a producer of your first movie, right? What do you think? You have the link below here. This www.internationalstreamingacademy.com. I see you in the next class.